car manufacturers in today's world go and drive a 944 and then just make the new cars drive like this. This is what we want. Why can't we have it? It's not that crazy to ask for. This is not a normal car review. This is steering feel review. My series where I talk exclusively about the steering of cars because nobody else does. And I believe cars that steer well are special and should be celebrated more. Today we have something a little bit exciting. This is a 944 Turbo. This is a near enough 40-year-old car with hydraulic steering that everybody says has one of the best feels of any car ever. But I've gone against the grain on multiple occasions. I've told you ND MX-5 is not good. I've slam dunked on VW Golf GTIs, and historically I've always shit on BMW because I just don't think that they're engaging and give me the feelings that I want for driving. This is the first Porsche we've had on steering feel review. Today we find out if these guys are like all the other Germans, or if this car is going to really give me what I want to feel. This car's wheelbase is 2,400 millimeters, which is surprisingly short. The car feels really big in real life, but its wheelbase isn't that different to my MX-5. You can see the wheels are quite inset of the body. The steering rack ratio is 15.5 to 1, which is like a pretty average speed. Some of these cars, especially early models, would come with manual steering. That is not what we have today. We have a power steer car. I will tell you guys a secret. I am not a fan of mid-engined cars. When cars put the engine right in the rear seats here, or in the back here like 911s do, they have sketchy handling characteristics that are not my favorite thing. If you get one of those cars sideways, it's hard to recover. It can feel sketchy driving it on the road. This is the only generation of Porsche where they put the engine in my preferred location. The engine is here in the front. There's a gearbox in the middle and it drives the rear wheels. Technically the gearbox is in the back, but don't worry about that. I have a feeling because of this layout and the Porsche badge, this car might have some special sauce that we will discover when we get it out on the road. Here's a list of all the things I test for steering feel. The car is lightly modified with some coilovers. It's still factory alignment. It's on Pirelli P0 tires all round. Let's get out on the road. Spirited driving in a 944 Turbo. Should we see what it does? Ooh! That's got some poke! The brakes have travel. They feel real. Oh my God, the steering is real. This is not a video game, guys. Oh my, yes! Yes! 2 corners, that's all it took. At this point, I'd been driving the car spiritedly for about 15 seconds, and I already knew it was going to be one of the best. Oh. Why don't cars drive like this anymore? You turn into the corner and you can actually feel what's going on underneath. Power. God, the turbo noise. God, that feels good, man. Old school turbos, they hit different. I think you guys know this is going to be quite a good one. Directness is a measure of how responsive the steering is, how quickly the car turns when you turn the steering wheel. I don't think the directness is the best part of this car's steering, but it's pretty good. There's a bit of on-center slop. In the corner though, it transforms and it's very direct. Like right now it feels locked in, and even tiny changes really affect where I'm going. I do think the steering rack's a little bit slow. Feels like you need a good amount of wheel turning to actually get the car turned. There's certain things that we have to forgive because there are some serious benefits with this car's steering. Let's get into those. Weight is all about how light or heavy the steering is and how that changes the harder you turn the steering wheel. Oh, the weighting on this rack is glorious. I just want, when I turn the steering wheel, it feels like tires are doing work. I can feel that something is happening. This gives it to you. It's real, authentic, genuine weighting. The steering isn't even particularly heavy. Like right here, this I can do this with one hand. The steering's not that heavy. But you get it into a corner, I could no longer do this with one hand. Very interactive, very engaging, feels great. So much communication. I'm not scared to drive this car even faster than I am now, because it's telling me what I can and can't do. If you want to know what good cars should drive like, drive this. You put it into the corner, the steering is engaged and weighed, but it's even adjustable in the middle of a corner. You want an engaging driving, not scary, wonderful levels of enjoyment. This is it. Buy 944s. You guys wonder why these cars used to be worth like 3 or 4 grand and now they're easily worth 15 to 20. This experience is why. You do not get this in cars anymore.
Texture is all about the feeling of the road through your hands. The best cars will tell you exactly how much grip you have as you're driving.
Here's another benefit to older cars. The steering is telling me what is going on. When I go through wet sections, dry sections, the steering feels different. When I go over some of all this rubbish on the road that the farmers are dragging around, I can feel the difference in the steering. When I go through bumps, the steering is communicating them. When I'm in a corner and I'm turning, I can feel the level of grip I have in the steering wheel, like right now. I can feel how much the car wants to go faster. During that corner, the car told me, Mick, you're a pussy. Why are you going 5 out of 10? You can go much faster. The steering is telling you that, and I love it. It makes driving faster safer. If the car is telling you exactly how much grip you have, it's very unlikely to be caught out. You're going to go over the limit. You're going to go faster than you should and get yourself in a sketchy situation because the car is communicating. I love this. I could just sit here and preach about it all day like it's brilliant. Okay, it doesn't have as much texture as my NC MX-5. I think NC MX-5 might be the best car of all time for texture. I think it has more texture even than Lotus Elise. This, behind NC, is like right there. The wheel is absolutely like brimming with feedback. It's telling me everything I want to know. Modern car manufacturers, please, somebody apart from Lotus, make a new car that feels like this. And you know the beauty of steering feel? I don't have to drive that fast to enjoy it. I can go a sensible, enjoyable pace, and yes, it gives a little bit less steering feel because I'm not weighing it up quite as hard, but it still gives loads. You always get the texture. The texture is never going to go away. You get the texture right now going straight. Good steering just makes cars more enjoyable by default. It's a sports car. Give me the sports car stuff. The steering is one of the most important parts of a sports car. Porsche do it right. God damn, I want one of these cars now.
Let's talk about normal driving.
What is a 944 Turbo like on motorways and highways at higher speeds? There is a little bit of turbo lag, so we'll take one downshift. It's so stable. It's German. They had the Autobahn 40 years ago, right? So they still had to make cars that were good for it. This car's bloody good for it. I'm getting actual steering weighting when I go around these bends on the motorway, which is crazy. I don't think I've ever had weighing up at this speed in any car, but there's a bit of dead zone for going straight. The car's not nervous, the wind's not moving me. It just feels solid. It is really, really good at this speed. So look, I could drive it with one finger. No, it's a little bit heavy actually. I'm trying to turn it more and I can't. Okay, you probably drive it with one hand. So it doesn't have the lightness like some modern luxury cars, but like that is such a small nitpick. It's dead solid. You could drive this across the country with no problems. And of all the older cars I've ever driven, this is by far the quietest, most comfortable, most refined. Excellent long distance car. So what is a 944 Turbo like to drive around town? To be honest with you guys, this is the part of the video I was most worried about, and I'm still worried about. Right now, at 30 miles an hour, just following traffic for a little town, it's not too bad. It's quite responsive, relatively direct. It's not slow enough to annoy me to dodge potholes and things, but I know the slower we go, the heavier it gets, and it's on an exponential. It gets way heavier as you start to approach 0 miles an hour. There's a chance parking could be somewhat of a problem. It's a steering that isn't quite one-handed light at these lower speeds. You want to keep 2 hands on the steering wheel. You're going to need them to make big changes. Like right there, it's now quite difficult to turn. What's the self-center? Oh, it's really heavy. Does it self-center? It does somewhat self-center. It's a little bit slow. What is a 944 like to park? Oh, right here is very heavy. Yeah, the steering is like... At these kind of speeds, it basically feels like it doesn't have power steering. I don't love that. Yeah. No. I'll be honest, that whole parking session was pretty scuffed. No, it's not particularly enjoyable to park. This is not the car's strength. Okay, conclusions and scores. I'll summarize my conclusion very quickly. When I go home now, I'm going to buy one of these cars. I want one so bad. I think, genuinely, this might be one of the best cars I've ever driven. There's not a lot of cars that combine real driver engagement with like being comfortable on the motorway. Even my car right there does not sufficiently combine those two talents. It's excellent to drive. It doesn't drive like a normal car. It's noisy and annoying. I think if I got one of these, I'd leave it stock power. Yeah, I think the 300 horsepower, while it's fun, I start to worry about getting in trouble a little bit if I'm holding the accelerator down through second and third. The seating position is perfect. I'm so comfortable. This interior has like a modern minimalist vibe to it even. Like I really like the interior. You've got actual seats. I don't know if you use them, but you can stuff stuff back there. You could travel across the country. It's quiet on the motorway. What about the steering then? This is the best car I've ever tested. It gets a 9 out of 10 for steering feel. It has similar weighting to NB MX-5, but it's more direct and has more texture. The only car I've driven with better weighting is Lotus Elise. The steering does everything well and it excels in the weighting, but you don't lose anything. Like with MB, it's not super direct, you lose that. With this, you get your cake and you eat it too. There is no downside to this steering for spirited driving. Why modern car manufacturers can't give us this experience in modern cars is a joke. If they did, we would buy the cars. But it's better for me, because these cars are relatively cheap, I'm just going to go and buy one. I want one so bad. Okay, normal driving. On the motorway and highway, it's like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I have to edit myself here. I think I got a little carried away. I tried to justify giving this car a 5 out of 10 for normal driving. My logic made a bit of sense. It's quite good on the motorway and it's quite bad in town, so those two should balance out. But no. I have to stop myself. While it's quite good on the motorway, it's not that far above average, and around town, it's one of the worst cars I've had on Steering Feel Review. So while it gains a point on the motorway, I'm going to say it loses 2 points around town, and it comes out to a 4 out of 10.
No, right, you guys, don't tell him. He's over there. Don't tell him, okay? We're going to make him an offer for this car. I'm going to offer him £22,000 for this car, I think. There's no way he says no, right? Okay, don't tell him. Don't let him see, okay? This is just between us. I'm going to make him an offer of £22,000 for this car. I want this car. I want to drive home in this car today. I fucking love this car. I really want to buy it. If he says no, I'm going to go on Auto Trader when I get home. I don't even know if I'll need the turbo. The turbo's cool, but an S2 would drive exactly the same with less power, which is probably better for me. And have a 6-speed box, which would be even better on the motorway. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Right, my name's Mick. I'm about to go and buy a car. Peace. YouTube really wants you to watch for this video, but I know if you enjoyed this, you'll like these episodes of Steering Feel Review. Peace.